Well, we're talking to candidates and voters throughout the day here in Birmingham on this day one of the general election. We've got one candidate here who is from the UK Independence Party, UKIP, Keith Rowe, who is standing in one of the other Birmingham constituencies, Birmingham Northfield. Thank you very much for being with us.
Pleasure. Good morning.
Are you excited? Day one of this campaign?
Extremely excited, extremely bullish. We're getting out there full steam ahead now, and we're getting well into the campaign. It's going to be an exciting few weeks for us. I hope it doesn't bore the electorate, but it's going to be great fun, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, we were just talking about voter turnout figures, actually. Birmingham, this constituency, certainly very low turnout. How do you get voters just to vote, let alone vote for you?
Well, it's up to all of us politicians or would-be politicians to get our message out there and explain to people how important it is that they do use their vote. And if they don't use their vote, they're letting anybody else in, and then they will have no real right to complain about who's in power because they didn't use their vote to change it. So I would urge everybody, whoever you vote for, to get out there, use your vote and make a real difference.
Tell us what UKIP is fighting for, specifically here in Birmingham and the Midlands. Why do you think people should vote UKIP?
Well, there's lots of issues that are affecting people, in particular immigration, where we've seen a downward pressure on wages. We've seen people coming in, and that's affected unemployment as well, which is a very big issue. Also on the doorstep...
How would you cut immigration? You're talking about EU immigration in particular.
EU immigration, I mean...
Would you set limits? Quotas?
We would have an Australian-style points system whereby allowed into the country from wherever, and this would be a level playing field, because at the moment people from outside the EU, it's a very important point that a lot of people haven't quite grasped yet, is that people from outside the EU are being discriminated against, and therefore it's not a level playing field. We want a level playing field, an Australian-style point system, so that allowed into the country are those people that the country needs and wants, but not in such numbers that we can't cope with. So that again leads me on to another subject where it puts a huge pressure on local services, be that the NHS, which is a huge issue on the doorsteps, education, housing and all of these other issues.
We've been asking viewers for their questions. We've had one tweet in from Sarah Morris asking about HS2 coming to Birmingham, the high-speed rail link, saying why is it coming to Birmingham? She thinks it shouldn't come to Birmingham, so she said why not send it to Cornwall? You've got quite strong views on HS2, haven't you?
We have. We don't know why it's coming to Birmingham, or in fact why it's coming to the UK at all. This is something that we think is a huge vanity project. They're going to, whoever is the government, if they go ahead with this, will be borrowing huge sums of money that future generations will have to pay back. It'll help to turn Birmingham into a suburb of London rather than keep our identity. And it's
business leaders say it'll boost the economy, though.
Well, some business leaders do, because those in the rail industry think that it'll boost their businesses. But generally speaking, for the economy, it'll put us further into debt. That's something that this country can't take any more of. We should be looking to reduce debt. Yes, we need to increase our transport system. Even the House of Lords is coming round to our way of thinking now and agreeing with us that HS2 is not the way forward with this, that we could do so much more in terms of capacity and in other areas by using probably less money to improve our existing infrastructure rather than ripping up the countryside and having an adverse effect and borrowing huge sums in this way.
What do you say to voters who say, you know, voting UKIP, it's just a protest vote, you know, they're going to get at best a handful of MPs, really what's the point?
Well, of course the last few elections have proved exactly the opposite, and we've proved outright that if you vote UKIP, you get UKIP. We proved that by winning the last national election in this country, which was the European elections, and of course the two by-elections where we got members of Parliament elected. So members in Birmingham and across the country can be absolutely sure that voting UKIP is a real vote that will count, and we will have members of Parliament after May the 7th.
Keith Rowe, thank you. I'm going to let you go off and start campaigning. You've got many weeks of hard work ahead of you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.